What's up, YouTube's SKB here. I am back again with another video. In today's video, I want to talk about how to actually go about detaching yourself from wanting. We consistently live our life chasing after these things and never chasing after knowing God. I'm going to be reading in First Timothy 6, chapter 7. It says here that, what did we bring to the world? Nothing. What can we take out of the world? Nothing. So my question for you is that, what is the most important thing that you should be doing in this time period that you have been given by God between your birth and death? Most of you will say is connecting with God, which is important. You should be connecting with God. You should be knowing God. You should be striving to know God. But what is the excuse that makes you not connect with God? My answer that I found is that is the things that we have, which is the phone, the computers, social media, all of the things that we have had made us not connect with God. That's why it's not very important to be having these things, because they make us distracted. They make us not connect with God. And God doesn't care about us having these things because He didn't create these things at the first place. But the people decided to create these things for us to just be distracted. Because I find the world as a distraction. The world doesn't want us to know the truth. The world doesn't care about us knowing the truth. But we should be striving for knowing the truth. And it says again that, so then, if we have food and clothes, that should be enough for us. You see, I said that food and clothes is enough, but most of us, we're not satisfied with that. We are not happy with that. If you're not happy with food and clothes, you will look for happiness with other things. You will crave for happiness for other things than other than food and clothes, which is then that's when the distractions comes in. By having more stuff, we have more stuff. Now we give all our attention to this stuff that we have. But those who want to get rich fall into temptation and are caught in the trap of many foolish and harmful desires. When we chase after riches, when we chase for riches and everything that we desire, we fall into temptations. We are tempted. We do things that are not aligned with God because of the riches. We buy things with our money that are going to eventually distract us. It says also that these desires that we want are harmful for our body. The things that we have are harmful for our body. They are harmful for our brain. They are harmful, and we want them because the body, that's what the body craves, right? We want more stuff. We get happy for a short period of time when we get this stuff, but never happy for a long period of time. And when we buy these things, also these things that we want, they tempt us into sinning. Phones that we have, computers that we have, get us into sinning. They tempt us into sinning. So that's why it's not very important to have all of these things. In God's eyes, it's not very important to His eyes. If you want these things, you should not be buying these things for the intention of just consuming, or you should be buying them to actually serve other people. You should be buying them to actually create, because you were made to be a creator. You were made to serve other people. God wants to use us to help other people, but we consistently distracted. We consistently bombarded by these things that we have, and we're giving all our attention to these things. Now we don't get to actually receive His message, because His message only comes in our thoughts. It only comes from our vision. And if you don't get to spend time to think and hear His message, we not get to do what we're supposed to do. Remember that God wants us to use us in order to serve other people, not for our own sake, but to serve other people. But we don't hear uh, if we don't get to receive His message, we don't get to do what He's saying. We get distracted all the time. The world is a scam. It's created all of these things to distract us from knowing the truth, from knowing God, from connecting with God, and actually doing what God wants us to do. So let's keep on reading, and it says, which pull them down to ruin and destruction. So the things that we run after, they ruin us and put us into destruction. As it says, they pull us into ruin and destruction. We get distracted and we actually ruin our lives by them. We could be very happy without these things. Remember when you were a child, you didn't care. You were happy. Now that you are old, what is happening? You are constantly overwhelmed. You are constantly feeling anxious. You are constantly stressed, because you're not where you want to be, because you see on social media that people are succeeding and they are buying all of these things, and you are stressing, you're feeling anxious, you're feeling overwhelmed, you're just not happy because of what you saw on social media. So let's go on. For the love of money is the source of all kinds of evil. Some have been so eager to have it that they have wandered away from the faith and have broken their hearts and with many sorrows. So people who have been with God now have actually ran away from staying with God. They have actually gone out and look for the short ways to actually make this money, you know, because they have now lost faith with God, that God actually will eventually help them to actually get out of where they are. Because everything of God takes time. Because God has to first work on you before He eventually give you all the wealth that you desire, all the things that you desire, the riches that you desire. He has to first work on you, and His riches takes a lot of time. So now that you didn't receive, you couldn't be patient enough to receive your riches. Now you run your own way. You want to do things in your own way. You go away from God. You're separating yourself from God. Now you get hurt by the world, because of your cravings, of you running after the things, you only running after the riches, you know. And also it says, let me read again, it says, but you men of God avoid all of these things. Strive for righteousness, godliness, faith, love, endurance, and gentleness. Run your best in the race of faith and win eternal life for yourself. So it says here, the only thing that we should be chasing after is having faith. You have faith when you know God's wisdom. So that's the only thing that we should be chasing after, right? Not these things of this world, because these things of this world distract us, they harm us, they don't make us perfect. We're constantly feeling anxious, we're constantly feeling overwhelmed, we're constantly feeling all these kind of feelings because of the things that we have, materialistic things that we have, distract us. We should be chasing after faith, because only faith can give us eternal life, we can live a longer life without these things. Yeah, man. And that was the video of today. If you really like this video, make sure you do like and subscribe. Without further ado,